One.
Here's what I did to get my first Wii Sports Resort spin control perfect game. For the majority of these lanes, we will be throwing the ball straight. Not only does this help me to find an exact lineup, I prefer straight throwing and it makes it easier to explain what to do. For lane 1, you want to move to the side, then angle into the right pocket. Using two hands to keep the Wii Remote as straight as possible, use as little motion as possible to flick the ball low across the ground. Again, you may have to adjust slightly depending on how straight you can throw the ball, but this is the general idea. Same again for lane 2, just make sure to watch out for the moving barrier, and if it wasn't already obvious, we're only covering the expert versions of the lanes, since they're the only ones involved in the perfect. Lane 3 is the same idea, however you have to throw the ball straight down the middle. Aim to be just to the left of this arrow and wait for the gap to open up. Lane 4 is slightly different since we need to throw into the left pocket, however I noticed for this one, you need to aim more into the middle than you might imagine for this to work. It's safest to wait until both barriers are fully out of the way before throwing. The barrier patterns for all lanes are on a global cycle, meaning that every time you begin that lane, the barriers will always move in the same way, so you'll get an idea of how long to wait before throwing the ball. Patience is very much key in this game. Lane 5 is a real test of this. It follows the same setup as lanes 1 and 2, however finding an opening can be rather tricky as the barriers don't move at exactly the same speed. Whilst you can squeeze by the first barrier, it's best to wait until the front two barriers start to synchronize with each other and then just watch out for the third barrier at the back. The final four barriered lanes are a real step up in difficulty. For lane 6, make your way over to the left, between the first and second dot. The goal is to cross the ball over to the right pocket, however there's a very consistent way to get it in the right place, and this is by a technique that I like to call barrier scraping. You want to aim so that the ball will touch the edge of this barrier, which will push it across a little bit, and this should help to ensure a strike. Lane 7 is the easiest one to underestimate. This is one of two lanes where we implement a barrier skip, where we will throw the ball over a barrier rather than around it. Move across so that the left part of the line touches the edge of this barrier, then angle so the line is just to the left of the middle of this arrow. Now, rather than throwing the ball low to the ground, you want to hold the ball up high, then pop the ball out of your hands above your head whilst keeping the remote straight, so that the ball flies upwards and over the barrier. This should allow you to throw the ball from an unintended angle, helping in awarding the strike. Lane 8 is the only one that absolutely requires spin. You want to move so that the right part of your aim line touches this dot, then angle to the middle of the first arrow. Then you want to throw with as much hook to the right as you can, trying to release the ball to the middle of your body as possible, all whilst avoiding the barriers. Personally, I think that Resort has the most inconsistent spin in the series, so you may have to make slight adjustments to this setup based on the level of hook you can create, but do try to use visual cues such as the dots and arrows to help you. Lane 9, whilst it may look impossible to do without spin due to how it's set up, we're going to be doing another barrier skip to allow us to do a variation on the lane 1 setup. Because we're throwing the ball from a different height, it makes us need to be more careful in both alignment and the throw itself. Move all the way to the right, then angle left so that there is a small sliver of line not covered by the barrier, but in a way that you can still see the full line. Then, wait for the moving barrier to get out of the way, then throw the ball over the barrier. The final frame is completely standard with no obstacles, so it's completely up to you what you do to get a strike. I preferred in my run to just throw the ball down the middle, like I would do in Wii Sports. However, you may prefer to do the lane 1 setup as we've been doing it for the entire video anyway. You can't stop me for too long. I know what to do on all the other lanes. I know what to do on all the other lanes. You can't stop me, game. I can't be stopped. You can't keep giving me 8 pins. I'm gonna throw the ball straight next time, probably. Even though this should literally be more consistent than throwing it straight down the middle. Because look, what happens when I throw it straight down the middle? I get the worst down the middle strike you've ever seen, which is gonna make throwing it down the middle on frame 10 even worse.
Amazing!
Dude, if I could like get like over here in time, you could literally do it like without it even coming back.
Keep it up!
No, I have to do it on an angle. It's just being really unlucky. It will work. So I just clank it off the edge here. Yeah, clank it off the edge. Edge, edge. Yeah.
Amazing!
Edge. Middle. Perfect throw. Oh, that's perfect. That is so perfect. I love watching that one back. Tiniest little sliver. Yep.
Amazing!
Yeah, you cannot stop me. I'm gonna try it down the middle. Screw it, I am trying it down the middle. Oh, you tried to stay up. You tried to stay up. You tried to stay up. Let's go, dude. Finally. That's actually really consistent. Thank you for the congrats, Andre. By the time I finished with this, I actually found a way to consistently do the first 9. Which took an hour and 40 minutes. But it is a consistent way. You could definitely make a tutorial on that. I could absolutely make a tutorial on how to get a perfect game in spin control. And that's it. You don't get a stamp for getting a perfect in spin control, but it's a great way to show off to your friends and to help you gain XP when going for Pro class, Superstar class, and going for the 2500 cap. Please like and subscribe if this helped you.